You are now tuned in to Music, Men, and My Mental with your host, DeVone, tackling all things career, relationship, and your overall health.
Trifecta.
Let's get to it. Let's start the show.
Thank you for tuning in to Music, Men, and My Mental. It is DeVone here, and we are discussing all things career, relationship, and your overall health. So before we start, I'm going to do something a little bit different today. Before I introduce my guests, the purpose of this podcast is to really tap into I just want to be your friend, and I want to just check on you, and I want to ask you a question. I just want to ask everyone, listeners, my guests, I will get to you in a second, but how are you doing today? People say that, and they actually sometimes just want to okay, I'm good, I'm fine. How are you doing today? The purpose of the podcast is about really checking in to your career. How you feeling about your job? How you feeling about your career? How you feeling about your relationships? Do you feel that you can do more? Do you enjoy being single? Do you enjoy being married? Do you enjoy just being by yourself? How are you feeling? How is your health? Do you feel sick? Check in with yourself. See what's wrong. Try to adjust. Give yourself a second. So just take a moment before we start and just, how am I doing today? You know? So take that moment, and now let's get into the show. I have a special guest today. Oh, my goodness.
We're all special.
No,
all
you
your,
are super special. Not because of the history, but...
Oh, break down the history.
No, I can't even wait to break down the history right here.
Break it down.
I'm just going to introduce you first. Okay. So, goodness gracious, Grammy nominated Miss Yaya, singer, songwriter, from the Bronx, New York, just was on Making the Band on, my Spanglish is not that good, but it is Gigantes del Mañana.
Yes.
Did I say it right?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
It was actually, it was perfection.
Thank you. Wait, can I say the Spanish word? Perfection? That's still perfect. All right, I said it wrong.
Perfecto.
Anyway,
Perfecto.
perfecto, right?
Perfecto,
okay.
yeah.
See.
I had to think about it like, what? What's the word?
So, man, you've had a long career in music.
Yeah, it's been
Grammy nominated on Making the Band. And if you don't know, she was on the season of Making the Band where Danny Kane came to life. Mm-hmm. Wow. On the treadmill. I remember that.
On the treadmill.
He was like, get on the treadmill, run 10 miles before you go to the studio.
Yep, and I was like, I ain't never run a mile in my life. And
I was watching like, girl, you can do it. You were like, I ain't never done this before. This is not my thing.
It's been my thing since then, though. Like,
See?
since Making the Band, I've been all about fitness and being healthy and keeping my ass in shape. But yeah, before Making the Band, like, that running on the treadmill thing was not my thing.
Thank you, Diddy.
At
Come
all.
on.
Thank you. I thank him for a lot. Like, I grew a lot. I'm still growing. You never stop growing. But I grew a lot from that show and learned a lot about myself. Because I grew up admiring singers like Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, singers that just stood there.
Right.
And he was trying to put together a girl group where you dance and sing and do cartwheels and all that type of stuff. So it definitely helps me be a better artist, even though I was eliminated, when we got down to like the top 9 of the house. But
you were top 10.
I would say 9 because,
when everyone says like top 5, top 10,
Yeah.
no one said 9, no. But
I'm
top
saying.
10, to be in the top 10, doesn't matter what number you are,
Yeah.
1 or 3 or 9
Yeah.
or 10.
No, it's
top 10. That's
it's
a big
huge.
deal.
To be in the house, just to have.
You were in the house.
I was in the house.
Sidebar, I went to the Making the Band audition. I saw that line around the corner and I said, deuces, it was like hot as hell. It was at Lotus. If no one remembers Lotus, that was the hottest club ever.
Yep.
And I was like, everyone was beautiful. They were doing splits, doing high. I was like, I'm not messing with you bitches today. I got to go.
You know what's crazy? I didn't even know about the audition. This girl, I was working at Diesel, the flagship store, and this girl, we didn't even talk like that. She just knew that I was into singing, and she wanted to go to the audition. She came to me and said, "Hey, I want to do this audition. Do you want to be my buddy and go with me on this audition?" And it's so sad because I don't remember her name. It's really messed up.
And she was your angel.
It was 2004. It's a long time ago. So, yeah, she was like, "Come with me to this audition," and I made it as far as I did. And I don't think she made it past like the first or second singing thing. So she was definitely an angel.
So when she was watching you on TV, she was like, I was the one.
She's there because of me. That's messed up that I don't remember her name.
That's
really
fine.
messed
Maybe
up.
she'll listen and then be like, it was
And
me.
we can
Then-
reconnect, and then I'll really tell her thank you because that really helped
So
me
let's just
continue.
go into that. What was it like being in that house? I mean, TV is different from the reality of what was really going on.
We were really boring the first 2 weeks. Like, we didn't have any arguments. I think I was probably the most annoying one because I was very OCD. I was like, listen, there's 20, because we moved
She's
in.
a
there was-
Cancer.
Yeah. There were 20 of us, and it's a big ass loft, and we can't leave stuff. Can we curse on here? Because
Yeah, man,
we
just
can't
be
leave
you.
shit lying around and dishes in the sink and all that. So I was always like mother hen, telling people to clean up after themselves. So I was annoying with that. It wasn't until they brought Jason into the house where we got some kind of drama, some kind of excitement, because we were just all just sitting around and doing vocal warm-ups and dancing. There weren't any arguments like that. So Jason definitely shook everything up. And then when they did the second audition and brought some girl named Levante and Kissy Lee. She goes by Kissy Lee now. We follow each other on Instagram. But it wasn't until that we got even more drama. And then they always showed me doing some dumb shit, like getting to rehearsal late or putting dishwashing liquid in the dishwasher. You know we ain't have no dishwasher.
I was going to say
We didn't have dishwashers in
we're
the
from the
projects.
South Bronx.
Listen, I'm from Patterson
Projects.
So
we've came a long way.
So we didn't have dishwashers in the project. So I didn't know there was a difference between dishwashing and dishwasher liquid.
Do you know my mom will not use a dishwasher even when we go to like a villa or something? She's still like wash the dishes. I'm like,
no. I'm all about the dishwasher now. All about it.
Because we've come a long
We've
way.
come a long way.
But
We've
yeah,
experienced a
so
lot.
they were cutting to you, making you know, they have to build a character.
Yeah, build a character and just make it more interesting than what it was, which was just us dancing and singing all day, jumping up and down. I mean, editing in reality TV, I will testify that makes or breaks a show.
Right.
Because you have to edit to make it exciting for people to watch.
Right.
So whatever, I still got my TV time. And from there, I was able to get a manager, not from Diddy, but someone who saw me on the show was looking to manage me, which then pushed me to end up being the lead singer of Dark Latin Groove.
Yes.
Because coincidentally, one of the members of the group grew up with my manager at the time, and just by fate, I ended up being part of that group. So
Right.
that's where the Grammy nomination
So
came
tell
from.
me about that Dark Latin Groove. How did
Latin Groove.
The manager.
So Dark Latin Groove is, I'm going to say is because it still is a classic group. It was a group from 96 to 2001 was a huge, damn, that sounds like so long ago when you do the math.
Oh, I know.
Was a huge salsa group. So they're all from New York. It was a lead singer and 2 rappers, and they did Spanglish salsa, and they were huge. They couldn't walk down the street. That's how huge they were, and they mix urban sounds, reggae, with salsa music, traditional salsa music. So I was
So they just were ahead of their time.
Way ahead of their
now
time.
Everything on the radio
is a fusion of something.
Right.
Like it's basically DLG is what started that from the late 90s, and that is because Sergio George, the executive producer of the group, he's the one that produced all those sounds. Then bringing the flavor of James the Barber and Fragancia, they did the urban or they did the reggae part, and then Huey Dunbar did the R&B vocals. So it was a great combination. Egos happened. 2001, the group broke up, and fast forward to 2007, the manager I had and James the Barber grew up together, and they'd been talking to Sergio about working with me. So when I go to meet Sergio George, he's like the Quincy Jones of the Latin industry. Like he's the real deal. Like if you worked with him, you've worked with the best.
Got you.
So when we set up a meeting, at this time I had moved to Miami. I moved to Miami, said I'm gonna go to Miami and get a record deal. So
Yes, that's what I wanted to know. So you, after making the band, you with the manager, you moved to Miami?
No. I
okay.
left. My plan was as soon as I graduated college, I was gonna move to Miami no matter what. I decided that when I was 14, when I went to Miami on vacation. I said, when I grow up, I'm gonna live in Miami. So yeah, graduated college and got a job at a retail store, and I told everyone I'm gonna get a record deal within 6 months, and I did.
You better claim it.
I did. I still had to work the day job.
That's okay.
But
That's okay.
but yeah, so I thought I was having a meeting with Sergio George about a solo album or a solo project, and then he proposed being the singer of DLG. And I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. We recorded an album in like 3 or 4 months, and we flew to Colombia and recorded some of the songs. And and then a year later, it was nominated for a Grammy.
Wow.
Yeah,
that is cool. But let's circle back. So after making the band, you went back to working in retail. How mentally, was that crazy for you?
Yeah, it was.
But you had a goal to say, I'm going to get a record deal.
Yeah. Well,
I can still work in retail. And if you notice me from making a band, hi, how are you?
That's the crazy thing about it. So we filmed from October to December. I got sent back home December, right before Christmas. And then
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. And then I went back to retail January.
Wasted no time. You said
I went back.
Work.
Well, I was in school. I dropped out of school for that semester to do the show. Wow. So like a day before I could cancel all my classes without being penalized, I went, and everybody's like, "Are you crazy?" I was doing a play, and one of my teachers was like, "How could you do this to us?" And I'm like, "That's
Diddy.
That's what understudies are for." Sorry.
It's her big break now, and mine.
Yeah, I felt really bad though, but it got cut out, but that teacher called me on the phone in the house, and we talked about, this is him yelling at me, calling from the Making the Band house, saying, how could you do this and all this stuff. But of course that got edited out, which is totally fine. Anyway, so yeah, I went back to work. I went back to school.
Okay.
I went back to enroll in the spring semester, and in the registrar office was like, well, why did you leave last semester? And I was like, I kind of left to do a reality show. And they're like, well, that's not our problem. I was like, are you going to reinstate me or not, lady? So yeah, went back to work.
Okay.
And it was weird. People recognize, I went back to work and the show didn't launch till March. So for 3 months I was safe, but people at school who knew why I left school were asking me what happened. And because of legal reasons, you can't discuss it until the show comes out.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, that's all shows. That's any show you do, they're gonna, like The Bachelor, you can't, you know.
But now it's so long ago, you could talk about everything.
No, I can definitely talk about everything now. So from January to March, I was safe because nobody knew who I was. March till the last episode of that season, not even. I moved to Miami and some girl stopped me. She was like, are you Yaya from Making the Band? She was in Africa at the time.
Wow.
This is 2 years after the show was on MTV. She recognized me and was like, saw me on Making the Band she lived in Africa at the time. And I'm like, holy shit.
Aww.
This music, TV, that it transcends. But I wasted no time going back to work. You gotta pay bills.
That's good. Okay. So you're in this salsa band, and then what happens there?
So salsa band. So for some reason, retail just did not escape me. So we live in an age where nobody's paying advances. Nobody's trying to develop artists.
Oh, we're going to talk about this entrepreneurship and what music is. I mean, that one of the reasons why I really want you on this show is because you are true music men in my mentor. You know what it's like to have decades of a career in music. You know what it's like to deal with some relationships, which we'll get into. You know,
I'll try not to cry.
We try to unpack properly, and also
unpack properly.
Oh, I know. I had coffee today.
Use that.
And mental. I know we can get into mental health. You know, we've had personal conversations about that, but so yeah,
Wait, let's take a quick break. and let people know how long we've known each other.
No, because then we're going to start doing the math. We've known each other for a very long time.
No, we're not going to say years.
Because I'm very, very young.
Yeah,
so.
we are very, very young. We don't have to say years, but definitely we've known each other since what, 3rd grade?
So we have this ongoing argument about 3rd grade and 1st grade, because I say 1st grade and you say it's 3rd grade.
It's
but
3rd
whatever.
grade. I was in another school in 1st and 2nd
say that,
grade.
and I'm like, but I remember you in this class.
Okay.
Anywho.
So 3rd grade.
3rd grade.
And then we went to junior high school together.
Went to the same junior high school.
Then we went to Camp Mariah.
Went to Camp Mariah together.
We went to Camp Mariah.
And went to LaGuardia together.
Yes, and went to LaGuardia High School together.
The 2 funny stories about that is, we were in a girl group. So I was this little
Crystal could sing.
I used to be this little Quincy Jones type, and I used to put groups together all the time.
Me, you, and Natividad. That we thought we were TLC.
And then Reese, we had another girl.
You and Reese, that we auditioned at the Apollo for Def
Motown.
Jam.
And we did Motown and Def Jam.
Yes, we did.
So I would find all these auditions. There was no internet. I just word of mouth, and I would get us together. I would coordinate the black and white with the suspenders. I would have rehearsals at your house because her mother was like, "You cannot leave this house."
Yep.
So we had to go to Yahira's house, and Miss Yaya.
No,
we had to go
Yahira.
to Yahira.
She's known me. That's why you're not C. DeVone to me.
I know, I'm Crystal.
But DeVone.
So we would go to your house. We would audition, and we would be at these auditions on time. We didn't have Uber, but we did really well. We would go like maybe
we were like
one
13,
round.
14 doing these things.
13, 14 years old. And I don't know, I was just always, this girl was like, look, you sing soprano, alto. I will always do the low note because I was the least. I mean, we're going to get to her singing. This girl, her voice is so beautiful. To the point where at junior high school, since we got into LaGuardia, which is this big performing arts school here, they were like, we have 2 people for the first time to go to LaGuardia, because we went to a very, very, it wasn't a great school in the South Bronx.
It wasn't.
We went to the local school. The test scores are probably way below what they were supposed to be, but they had these 2 golden, children, and they were like,
I'm sure they still talk about us.
Yeah,
to this
hopefully
day.
to this day, right? So I got to do a solo dance, and I do this little whack kick dance, right? And they're like, she's going to LaGuardia for dance. Yahira comes out, blows it out the park. They make her sing twice.
Oh, at graduation.
At graduation. Wait, come back on the
high
stage. Not an encore, but the same song. And I went just like, I'm like, but we going to the same school. That's messed up.
Because I think the Bronx borough president or somebody missed it the first time, got to graduation late, missed it. And then I was like, well, they missed it the first time.
I was like, but I can dance again.
No. It was a freaking Celine Dion song. And for me to sing us.
And my mother still talks about it. Oh, baby Mariah, baby Celine. I'm like, no one remembers my little
I did that kick.
That kick.
My mama did that kick.
It was awful, to be fair.
Stop it.
So
but you had a solo dance.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
And we went to high school. And so we've been performing for a minute.
We've been grinding.
We used to do a lot of SWV, Escape, TLC.
That was our thing.
That's
not dating us at all.
Not dating us at all. But let me tell you, our 2 night, what? Come a little bit. Yeah, y'all ain't even ready. I cannot sing anymore. She's a singer now. I am a DJ. We will keep it at that. But we have a lot of history, and that's crazy.
We really do.
So let's get into, since we know each other for so long, this is
part?
like our catch up. So
for the world to see.
For the world to see. So you're in this salsa band, and then relationships. This is the part where what people don't really realize when you're in the music industry and even an entrepreneur, having a relationship is just a tad bit harder.
Yeah.
Whether it's the finances, whether it's someone who really feeds your the performance aspects of you. Because I know for me, if you don't really care about my music and my career, it's going to be very hard to date me personally. So
because that's a big chunk of who you are. It's in our blood. We live, breathe, everything.
Right.
Our careers. So it's like it has to be somebody that understands that. I thought I found somebody like that, but no.
Right. So in Miami, you were dating someone, and that was kind of like crazy, right?
Yeah, it was crazy because we were long distance, and he's not in the music industry at all, and he's. To this day, I'm pretty sure he's still single because he's a forever single fuckboy. So
where does he live?
He lives here in the Heights. And we were long
Yikes.
distance, on and off. There was a point where I was like, look, I will move back to New York.
But
know,
you're
to
like
make this-
going to the Latin Grammys and you're doing all this stuff. And,
Yeah, I wasn't going to stop. Like,
and he's just watching you and just
he's
like,
just watching me and not like, he was never comfortable in that setting of being the boyfriend of an artist.
right.
So, but he always wanted to offer little bits of advice in the background here and there. No, you don't have the right to do that because you're either in it or you're not, and that's it. So,
Girl,
I'm
you're
all
gonna
or
have
nothing.
me have a case because that's super hard because it's like you should cut your hair, you should be more sexy. You know. I heard this song and you would sound good. Like you don't even I respect
care.
your opinion,
But you don't even care. Like you don't even really care. So why
just
even
wanna talk?
Yeah, you just want to be a talking head. Why even? So whatever. But that was that. So that was
Right.
that. So
How'd you get through that one? You just like it's just over.
I moved back to New York 2.5 years ago, and we were still on and off. We were on and
What
off
made
for
you
9
move back
years.
to New York?
Another bad breakup, because then when I finally broke up with that fuckboy, I got into a relationship with someone.
Another fuck boy? Come
Yeah.
on, man.
A grown-ass man boy.
What is a grown ass man boy?
A person who is who should be grown, but got me doing all mommy shit. Like,
Girl,
taking
don't have
care-
me throw this mic at you because
Yeah, I
that's
did
a
that
real one right there.
I did that for 11 months, for 9 months. So me trying to get over the fuckboy from here, I was like,
We still got to unpack the fuck boy, and now you got to come and be a mommy.
to a whole brand new person, thinking that, oh, this is meant to be because he's in the music industry and he has 2 jobs like me, and it's just great. And no,
Did you think you were ready though to be in a relationship?
no.
Okay.
No. I mean, now looking back, I knew I wasn't ready. I was just trying to get away from the other situation and jumped into something else.
The grass was greener probably too because it was something so different.
Yeah,
Wow.
for the
He understands me. He gets that part.
Yeah, he understood me for the first 2 months, but that 90-day rule, that Steve Harvey 90-day rule, yeah, I didn't follow that with that at all. Knowing at that time that should have been paid attention to, like, give it 90 days. After 2 months, we moved in together.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I just did a whole bunch of dumb shit. So yeah, to get away from that relationship, it got pretty messed up around Christmas time, like 11 months after us being together, and then
You and Christmas have issues,
yeah,
man.
yeah, Christmas is not my holiday. So yeah. So then I ended up back here to like
So after that
regroup.
breakup, you were like,
Yeah, to regroup and
but
just,
mentally, like that took a really bad toll on
that
you.
really did. It took me like a year to get over that.
Was it depression? Was it a breakdown? What were you going through?
Well, I had a breakdown, which my sister had to jump on a plane and come get me.
Well,
and
let's talk about that. Like,
You wanna get-
'cause
I'll get into it.
Was it just the actual relationship, or was it actually just a career? Was it everything?
It was everything. So with me
It
being
was the
part
music,
of
men, and my mental.
Yeah, it really was. So with me being a part of DLG, for those 9 years that I was in the group, I still had to work a day job because we didn't get consistent gigs.
Oh my goodness.
So this is how fucking crazy my life.
This is a mind fuck. You're
This
literally making a band, retail, in a a Grammy nominated. Oh my gosh.
I was working retail and had to ask for the weekend off to go to the Grammys. So my manager was like, okay.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I had to request the weekend off. So I left Thursday, did press, did the Grammys that Sunday, and flew back Monday and was back at work on Tuesday. And that was my life for the whole 10 years of living in Miami. Like,
This is what people don't see. This is why I want to talk about this because it's like, oh my gosh, she's singing, she's great, she's doing all of
Crystal.
this, and it's real. It's real out here.
And I never wanted to sugarcoat what my life was. I worked retail and I also went on tour. And I'll be on Friday singing for thousands of people, and then on Tuesday helping somebody. What size shoe do you need? An 8 or a 9? Like, how I haven't had a mental breakdown?
Well, that was the one.
Shit. Now
Right.
that I'm thinking about it.
No, it's real. It's real because like your brain can't adjust. Like
You could keep all this on camera. I ain't gonna sugarcoat
no,
nothing.
no, it's okay. And I mean, I would try to hug, but I want to.
No, that'll make me cry more.
Yeah,
so
yeah, and I love you too much for. Yeah, but when I knew you were coming on, I was like, this is going to be heavy because I've seen you go through these career ups and downs, and what people need to know is like, with winning and losing, it makes you stronger, And the fact that you bounce back and you can tell these stories is just crazy to me.
Falling and bouncing back.
Right. You keep falling and bouncing back. So,
So that's been my life for like the past 13 years.
Wow. That is crazy. As far as music is concerned now, what do you...
doing it. I'm still doing it.
Solo.
So I left DLG. Okay, so before leaving Florida, Atrium, I moved down to Miami to open Atrium. It was like the fucking poppin' store.
Oh, yes. Atrium. That was the It store.
Yeah, and it's now Kith. So,
Got you.
It turned into Kith. So, I moved down to Miami to help open Atrium. I worked with the company, and that's why I stayed in retail, because I knew, and with that company, because they understood, oh, you need this weekend off? Bet.
Got you.
Like, that was the best part of it, that I was able to have a nice way of life, go on tour, work with people that understood that I just need this weekend off for a show and I'll be right back. Because I came back as like a customer would come in, no one would know that the day before I was singing at like one of the most important festivals in Ecuador, where like 200,000 people were in attendance. And I'm here today humbly getting you your fucking shoes. So I would go back to work. Like, that's it. That's all.
And for people who don't know you, she's not even joking, would just be like, hey, what size shoe you wearing? Okay. So, and it could be some person who like, just the average Joe person, you're just getting them,
you never know who's helping you. Like,
right.
I like, for example, there was this store by my previous job, and this guy worked behind the counter serving food, and he's fit, buff. I think he was from Nigeria, and he would always talk to me. And then we started following each other on Instagram, and he's like this full-blown model in Nigeria, and he's working here in like this random little store, like taking shit from people. And I'm like, people just don't know who's serving them, who's helping them,
that's a word.
People's other aspirations of what the hell they're doing. So I digress. Let me get back to what brought me back. So Atrium closed. That messed with me. DLG, we weren't getting shows. And then the last show that we had was like a big mind fuck. So then I decided to quit. And then my relationship was shit. And all of that just took a toll on me, to the point where I was working on hurting myself. And my boyfriend at the time, I'm texting him crazy shit, and he doesn't give a shit. So I devised this whole plan, which I'm glad it didn't work, because it was just a dumb plan. My plan, because we were renting a house that had a dock. So I took the sheets and tied them on something to hang myself. And the plan was to get stupid drunk so that I could do this. But I got so drunk, I knocked out and fell asleep.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Thank God for whatever alcohol that was.
Yeah, and then me being dumb, I was writing stupid, like I was texting my friends dumb shit. So my friends from here called the local police from where I was living, and they came and got me, took me to the hospital. I was in the hospital for a few days. My sister came down, she packed all my shit. She was like, you're coming back. Yeah, you're coming back. And that's
Miami is, I always say, it's there. Go for a few years and come back. It's just not a place to settle anyway.
I was never planning on moving back to New York. My plan was...
Really?
Yeah, no, my plan was to stay there, like, for the rest of my life. Like, that was my plan. So, but it was great that I was able to come back and regroup and re-figure out what it is that I'm going to do with music. Absolutely. So yeah.
Wow. I'm just so happy that you're still here. And what are you doing to take care of your mental health now?
Staying busy.
Really?
Staying busy with my music, staying busy creating. I'm doing this comedy show, Comedy Derailed. So I'm getting back into the acting. I've always felt like I was funny. I like making people laugh. So I'm working with this group of women that do this comedy show called Comedy Derailed. And we're doing our second show. Well, this is their third show. This is my second show with them. And just staying busy. I've tried to do therapy, but it's like one person, once I tell them that I'm a singer and that I'm what I've done, they go and they Google me and they want to fucking talk about that throughout the whole session.
No.
Like, this is not what the fuck I'm here for. Like, wow, and you did this.
Try a new one. You
I've
have to date your therapist.
I've tried 2 or 3 and it's like not working. So I just meditate. I listen to podcasts. I listen to inspiring music. I stay busy. I write. I create. That's what's been helping me.
That's good. As long as you are doing something to take care of your mental health, because one, we need you. One, we need your music.
We need each other.
But your story is so important, because what people don't understand is they can see you just winning all the time, and they don't understand that there's some loss, but it also is a struggle to keep this, to follow your passion at times, and thank you for just being here.
Thank you.
Being amazing. I mean, we got more to go. I just want to make sure that you know that, so right now, you just broke up with someone.
Yes, yesterday.
Like yesterday.
Yeah.
What was his? I mean, it's fresh.
It's super fresh. And we have 3 movies that we did that are coming out. Independent films.
Well, it means you can't talk about him.
No, I can. I mean, fuck it. I don't care. I told you nothing's off the table.
She's messy. I like her. No, just kidding.
She's petty. I love it.
Cancer. You're petty cancers.
I love it.
You have 3 independent movies you have with him? Oh, my
Yeah,
goodness.
we met on the set of the first one, reconnected at the table read of the second one like a year later. Then we started dating, and the other one we weren't together. The first one that's coming out is one that's right between when I met him and when we reconnected. So that one's coming out. So I've been seeing the trailers of him in the last 24 hours. I'm like,
but it's still fresh, so you guys can still get back together.
well, we had a break once a few months ago, and I thought we were good when we got back together, and then it's just so. The conversation we had this morning, because I was tired of texting, basically it's that I have my music stuff. He has his filmmaking, actor, photography stuff, which I've always encouraged him. I always say, like, babe, what do you have to do today? Let's write it down, because I was noticing that he was slacking on his stuff. And he was helping me a lot with mine, and I didn't want him to start resenting me. So I would always be on him, but not in a nagging way. And it just boiled down to him feeling like he's not focusing on his shit, that he's helping me too much. But his thing is that he wants to help me, and I get it, but he can't seem to find the balance between helping me and getting his shit done. So he basically doesn't want to be in a relationship.
Okay, but I see both sides of that, because it's not necessarily like something went wrong with you guys. It's like, I need to get it together.
Well, I'm an emotional mess.
Right.
And I've made sure to keep that at bay with him, because he doesn't bring out the crazy in me. So that's like,
Well, listen, that's a great trait, because there's some guys literally like, ding, you're
that's
like
all
crazy.
they do. That's all they do is press buttons. But he doesn't. I felt like we were fine. But he needs to get his shit done.
So you will be friends, and you are going to be.
No.
You just need a moment right now.
I'm an all or nothing person.
Yeah, well, yes, I can see that. However, sometimes people just need to get their stuff together. So hopefully it will.
I understand that, but I just don't want to have it in my mind that while he's getting, I don't want to feel like I'm waiting around for him to get his stuff together. So I'd rather him just get his stuff together, him go that way, me go this way, and call it a day.
But you're busy anyway.
Yeah,
so
I'm staying busy. That's my therapy.
Maybe take some time for yourself. No boys.
Mm-hmm.
Not that boys are evil.
No, listen, when he and I, not all of them.
Not all of them.
But
he seems like a great guy. Just like sometimes it's a matter of you just need a moment to just disconnect for a little bit, because
which I would have been fine with without the stupid big argument we had before that. But a lot of things were said. And when we first started, he was single for about 4 years before we started dating. And had maybe like a month before finally cut off ties with that on and off situation that I had, the long distance thing that he needed to be cut the fuck off. Fucking fuck boy. But anyway, so my thing was I wasn't going to be in a relationship, pursue a relationship. Like I was all about I'm gonna focus on
and then
my
he
shit.
came in and was like, let's do it.
And then we had a table read for that third movie that we are doing, or we've already wrapped up. And we started talking, being friends, and one thing led to another, and then it turned into a relationship. But I don't, you know how like you start talking to somebody and it just out of nowhere turns into a relationship. Like what the fuck? Where the fuck did this come from? It was like a nice gradual thing that happened with us.
Okay.
So yeah,
but there's some strength in that though. That's I know you can't see the positive side of it right now.
because this is our second break.
Okay.
Up, so it's like, and he fucked
But
around
you guys have
on our break, so.
It was on
Which
a break.
I know,
okay.
I'm not mad.
But you
I'm
guys
not
have
mad
a
at that.
foundation. So that's good. That you guys have the foundation. And it wasn't like he was just taking like other guys. He was pouring into you.
He
and
was
you wanted
pouring.
to pour into him. And sometimes, you know what? I would rather you say, I don't want to be in a relationship right now than do something that's going to really damage us
That's
permanently.
what he's saying.
And you don't like it.
Nope.
I'm sorry.
I don't like it at all.
It's all right.
But I'm not gonna force it on him. Like I want him.
I'll slash his tires for you. Just kidding.
No, he's a brilliant guy. He deserves to focus on himself.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Well, listen. We talked about the mental health. We talked about the career. Talked about your relationship.
Trying to suck these tears back into my eyes.
I know. So, as far as you getting through all of this, you're saying that you're trying to just keep it creative. That's your way. That's your outlet.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to people like in this music industry?
Oh, depends on the situation. Give me a
The
situation.
singer. I mean, another singer just trying to come out here and make it. I mean, you've seen a lot.
I've
You've
seen
met
a lot
of people. You've
seen
traveled
a lot.
the world.
Met a lot of people. Dealt with a lot of situations.
How
where
would they be able to balance this career, relationships, and
I'm still
their
trying
health?
to figure out how I'm balancing.
Right.
Figure out what works for you. I actually left my retail job a month ago. I quit retail and I said, I'm going to be a full-time artist. I don't know where the money's coming from, but it's faith. And luckily, by the grace of the Lord, once I made that decision, it's like the next day the universe was like, oh, you ready now. And just all these opportunities started flooding towards me. And some of it generates money and some of it doesn't. Because again, part of being salsa is not easy because it has to be live instruments. There's no way around that.
Right.
And you have to pay musicians. Full band. That's like if you want to do an R&B band, you're going to need live instruments. You could fudge it a little bit. Maybe you could get a drummer, a bass player, and somebody doing something on a beatbox or something, a computer. But salsa, there's no way around it. Latin music, period. There's no, unless it's reggaeton, there's no way around it.
What made you do Latin after making the band? Because you could have just went straight to pop and just were the solo artist from making the band.
Nah, I wanted to do so, and I was, after making the band, I was doing more R&B stuff.
Okay.
But my roots, I'm Dominican, Puerto Rican. My roots, I wanted to be authentic to my traditions, what I grew up on, which was listening, which is why I was a huge fan of DLG. They mixed the traditional tropical Latin sounds with the hip hop, R&B, the stuff that we were growing up with. So that's what I always wanted to do. So for me to end up being the lead singer of the band that showed me what it is that I want to do was like huge for me.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to continue that in my solo stuff. So I released an album in 2016 of demos that I'd been recording over the years. And now I'm finishing up my second solo album. But back to the advice. Just having a conversation with yourself on a daily basis, all day, every day. Checking in with yourself. Because there have been times where I'll just be on autopilot.
Right.
And I won't check in with myself. And then I realize I'm in a funk. I'm in a bad mood. I have 3 heads. And then it would take something major to happen for me to reel it back in. But now I feel like in the last 2 or 3 years, I've been able to check myself and be more self-aware of what the hell it is, what habits are keeping me from getting to what. And it's something that I wish I would have known in my early 20s. Like, check your fucking self. So that's the advice that I would give even an 11, 12, 13-year-old. Check yourself. Even someone who's 60-something, because, you know, by that age, people are stubborn. They're stuck in their ways. Check yourself.
I like that. So we do this. So how in the beginning, I had everyone check in with themselves. I'm going to check in with you.
Okay.
But we always check in with a music artist. So since we're from the Bronx, I'm going to give us Cardi B as our, you know, our artist. So we do an emoji, and it's basically like, you know, the not so happy Cardi B, the meh Cardi B, and the ow Cardi B.
Okay.
And we're going to check in with the career, the relationships, and your overall health, right?
Okay.
So as far as where you're
like
at with
this.
your career, which Cardi B face are you going to give yourself?
Damn it. Is there something between meh and ow?
You're making a fourth one? Well, meh is like, you know, we're working on it.
What? Meh.
Okay. I mean, it would be like the, you know.
We're working on it. We're still working on it.
Okay, still working on it.
Mm-hmm.
The relationships. We not, yeah.
Sad Cardi.
So sad Cardi. Yeah, right.
I think I've seen that
I know,
face on
it's like she's always so happy, right?
Yeah.
And then your overall health right now. Like mentally,
say-
where you feel you look good.
I'd say mental health. I'm am.
You
even though
better. I like
Am.
that.
Because I'm checking myself. You got to check yourself.
Check yourself. That's what it's about. Okay, now you know. It was no way you were going to get on this show and not sing.
Oh, damn. And I said, I can have cold water. I'm not
You,
singing.
you damn sure did. And I was like, I'm going to set her up.
Okay.
I know I want you to sing my song that I used to make you. I used to ask you for this all the time as a kid. I don't even know if you remember this song. The Mariah Carey.
Dreambox?
Lying beside you.
Oh, that one. I was thinking of another Mariah Carey song, but I love that one.
Can you, I don't even know the words. What is it called?
Open Arms.
Oh my gosh. Can you sing that? That's a lot. I know that's a lot of work on you. Is that?
I could sing a snippet.
Okay.
I didn't warm up today.
Give it a second.
Damn. Okay, hold on. Shit, I'm trying to remember the words. Lying beside you, here in the dark, feeling your heartbeat with mine. Something like that. Softly, softly you whisper, you're so sincere. How could our love be so blind? We sailed on together, we drifted apart, and here you are by my side. I'm not gonna belt because you know.
No, I'm ready.
So now I come to you with open arms, nothing to hide. Believe what I say. So here I am with open arms, hoping you'll see what your love means to me. Open arms.
Oh my gosh. I'm
Stop.
like crying.
Stop it.
Oh my God, you got me
Stop
crying.
it.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, you have.
I knew you were going to be crying on
I knew
this
you
show
were gonna
today.
need.
I hate
I knew you were
you.
gonna need that one. That's
oh
why.
my God, that is such a throwback because one, like you were like baby Mariah. We went to Camp
Oh my God,
Mariah
I
and,
freaking was obsessed with that woman.
Oh my, and you were in the Always Be My Baby video. Weren't you at Camp Mariah? You were
They cut out my part.
Boy, you was in it still.
I was there.
You was there.
You remember Andre from camp? That he was always like attached to a hip. Whatever happened to Andre?
Listen, I don't
Whatever
know where
happened
these
to all
people
these
went,
people?
but
Reese, where
yeah,
Reese
we
at?
used to have to,
Aurelius.
She's going back to all these people. And see, you was always in a relationship. That was your problem. You dated all those boys at camp.
No, just two.
I
of them.
was
Just Mike
I
on
was
the ground.
out there just macking and sacking.
She
I'm
was
just kidding.
smacking
I
and
wasn't
sacking.
sacking no one. It was camp. It was camp.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, just two boys. Andre, I didn't date
It was
Andre.
camp. What the hell?
And it wasn't even dating. We were like 13, 12. It wasn't dating. It
You
was
put
like,
your arm around a guy. She would just sing Mariah Carey songs to him and woo him and shit.
and that's it. That's not a relationship.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for
So
having
what's
me
next?
on.
Give us like where they can find you, everything.
So my Instagram, Twitter, my Facebook, my Facebook fan page, all of that, it's the Miss Yaya. So THE Miss Yaya, MISSYAYA. And yeah, so I'm doing the independent film circuit. I'm finishing up my second album. I am doing comedy, dabbling into comedy with the Comedy Derailed ladies, and hosting. I host events. So just staying busy.
Doing it all, staying busy, keeping yourself balanced some way, somehow. And just thank you for sharing your story, getting personal with us, and just being honest, because people need to hear that story. You may be able to help someone with your story. So always remember that.
It's not worth giving anything up for one person. Like, that one person's gonna go on with their lives, and what? And you're giving up everything for what? For what? They ain't stopping for you. So why should you stop for them?
Absolutely.
And that's not even just relationships. Just your mama, your cousin, your
dog, your cat, everybody.
The meanest teacher that you have in school, your boss. Like, fuck everybody. Just keep it moving.
Keep it moving. Oh, okay. Oh my God, I love you so much.
You weren't supposed to cry.
I was not supposed to cry, but she had me cry much. And the thing is, I know you can go higher on that note. I was like, she gonna try to, okay. But then when you hit the end, I was like, okay, she still got it. She still got it, girl. She still got it.
Gotta keep working on
y'all.
it.
Make sure you like, subscribe to Music Men and My Mental. Email us at Gmail, Music Men and My Mental at Gmail. Follow us, and YouTube. We're here. We out here. Thank you for tuning in. I'm DeVone, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.